Yo, hello. Give me a sec. Yo, it's over? Nah. People are freaking the fuck out, but I don't think it's over. Like, realistically, okay? Realistically, this is back to where it was yesterday. Like, people have just lost all reason, obviously. And I mean, I'm saying this as someone that hopes for this to go lower, because there's going to be a better trade if it goes lower, so I can make more money down the road. But don't please hold my hand, I'm scared. Nah, there's no need to be scared. We're back where we were yesterday, and high time frame wise, actually this one's not that accurate, but high time frame wise, this is the one that we have on in our newsletter, Cred and I, and this is the one that's cursing us right now. But high time frame wise is still good, and it's still bullish even if it pulls back to 45, which I'm not saying it will, but yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. The reason why I'm streaming is because for some reason our email provider isn't up. So we're supposed to write a newsletter today, but yeah, it just doesn't work. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do like a 15-20 minute stream, so you guys have at least something, especially given today is a special kind of day, almost like Christmas, but not quite. But yeah, that's the reason for it. So this is only gonna be short, like 15-20 minutes, like I said, and then I need to get to bed because it's quite late. But yeah, before we start, shout out to Wu for sponsoring the show. We appreciate it, especially on a stream like an apocalypse. Apocalypse. That word is harder than I thought it would be. Like today, where we almost fully retraced the monthly candle, but also we're 5 days into the monthly candle, so there's no need to panic too much. We had a little bit of a wipe just 5 minutes ago, where people got liquidated. Anyway, bro, can you check Dogecoin? Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll run through very quickly and then we'll see what's up. One thing of note, look at all the red and look at ETH BTC. I generally think, like, if this is a pullback that's gonna keep going, right? And it can, given where the monthly time frame is, it's in an area of resistance. It's a triple top. Triple tops are memes, but they can kind of hold for a little while, right? As in, like, it is resistance and you can get a pullback, but I think if you get a pullback, it's a buy. It's basically like you do this and then you pull back a little. The moment you get anywhere close to that again, I mean, you just have to kind of hold your entries because that's going to break. So basically what I'm saying is the next time we go anywhere close towards like 69K, we're going to break it and we're going to go significantly higher, right? So that's the good thing. The bad thing obviously is that, I mean, this can pull back, which is a good thing for me because I would prefer it to pull back. The bad thing for me is it doesn't have to, right? Just because it closed that resistance here doesn't mean it has to pull back. It can just pull back towards like 56, 57, and then keep going up. So I don't think there's much reason to panic. Generally speaking, any bulls, right, especially the ones that have been bold in my comments, should be in from much lower. And I don't think it's going to get anywhere close to those entries, right? I think the worst case in my eyes is 45K, and that's because of the monthly. And I'm not even sure Like that's the worst case, and I wouldn't even want to necessarily bet on it. Why won't you buy Bitcoin? You said only E for memes. I'll get to it. But yeah, so worst case on the monthly time frame, 45K. If that happens, still giga bullish. If it doesn't happen, I mean, it's because the market is too bullish. Weekly time frame still looks very good. And maybe this is just a temporary pullback. Maybe we do this again like we did before, right? So basically, we had this massive uptrend. We went sideways into the ETF. Now that we have, like, we're back at all-time high, you could also just see a little bit of chop in that area. It wouldn't be the first time that has happened, right? So look. So you have all-time high here. Look what happened before. You tagged it, you nuked, and then you just kept on going. And that has happened multiple times throughout Bitcoin's history. Let me see if I can pull up one. I mean, that works. I don't know why it didn't show. Anyway, usually around the all-time high, you get a little bit of fuckery the first time you approach it, right? So back in 2013, set a high, came back to it, tagged it, nuked for 2 weeks. That was a pullback of probably 40% because everything pulled back then, 40%. Yeah, 36, 35, whatever. And then it went up, nuked a little bit, whatever. Rest is history, right? Same here, where we tagged it and then we pulled back. That was a little bit more shallow. It was only 10%. But yeah, and then you can generally like go through. I mean, there's not that much history on Bitcoin generally, but like these last few ones, every time we went close to all-time high, it just went a little bit weird, and that is kind of what we're going through right now. So like high time frame, yeah, there's room for pullback towards 45. The weekly time frame doesn't look that bad though, and could just go sideways, could chop for a while. Like I said, wouldn't be the first time, and then there wouldn't be any need to worry. Like I said, it's a little bit of normal price action. So no need to panic, especially given we're back now. If we go towards the daily time frame, we're back to where we were yesterday. Like I mean, people are just like, whenever something gains in price, they're like, oh yeah, this is my net worth now. And then the moment it goes down, they're like, oh shit, I just took like this and that amount of loss. But the money is never yours until you take profit, right? Like all of the numbers on the screen, they're all bullshit. The moment you close your position, that's the moment where the money is real. Before you do that, it's all bullshit. So technically, yes, you lost some unrealized gains, but you never had those in the, like that was never real money in the first place. If you closed it, it would have been, but until you press that button, it's not real. What about traditional market influence? Yeah, that's also been like struggling a little bit, but if you compare Bitcoin down like 8% to the S&P down 1%, yeah, it's a bit of a shitty comparison. This should not be on the daily time frame. So yeah, that's that. Pretty simple. It's a pullback. It's pulled back into weekly support. If that holds, that's giga bullish, and we're probably gonna go to 100K in a straight line. If it fails, no need to worry. We have 45K, which is gonna be very, very strong support, right? So depending on how bullish you are, that dip was yours to buy, or you're trying to get somewhere closer to 45. And if it goes up from here, right? If it just straight up goes up from here, and makes new highs, I think then you're obviously, like in altcoins, you're not gonna have too much fun. When Bitcoin goes completely ballistic, it's generally how it goes. Like the altcoins are not the best bet while Bitcoin goes up 10% each day. I mean, a few of them are gonna be outliers, but not all of them. It just every time I say like, yeah, altcoins are not gonna be such a good bet, and then people link me to 1 or 2 or 3 outliers, and they're like, oh, you're such a moron, while everything else nukes. I'm just kind of like, fuck. So generally, if this goes down from here, right? If we go down from here towards 45, this is kind of what I'm hoping for, because it makes trading quite easy. If it goes down from here to 45, that is a dip to buy, but I wouldn't want to be buying it on Bitcoin. I would be buying it in altcoins, because I think then you're gonna get an alt season of sorts. Aggressive enough pullback here on Bitcoin is gonna depress altcoin prices, make people sell altcoins that they just recently bought because they went up a bunch, like Dogecoin. Like Dogecoin went from 0.1 or a little bit less to 0.2 and had a huge nuke now. And if Bitcoin kind of struggles, I think that's gonna struggle too. People are gonna sell the Doge, and I think at that point it's gonna be a really good entry. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for, but I'm not sure if the gods will be so kind. Generally, the market is very strong, and this is kind of like expected leverage wipe that we haven't had, because the ETF guys just been kind of dip buying constantly. But if the leverage gets high enough, that can obviously not prevent it from washing out, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now. So any questions to that, or should I move on to some altcoins? We got a new all-time high. Why is everyone sad? Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still 60 fucking K. It's 63K. It's insane. Like a year ago, when I was buying 16K, like people would have been happy about 25. And now it's at 63. It's insane. Don't go to bed. It's gonna be 70K in 4 hours. Yeah, but I'm not gonna put any big positions on until I'm fully out of vacation mode, which is gonna be in 2-ish weeks. Please explain how you will access if we get a further drop or not. I mean, if we get a further drop, I'm just gonna buy. Like if that drop goes deep enough, I'm just gonna buy. And if it doesn't, like if it starts kind of like chilling at 50, 52-ish, as in still a drop, but less than the kind of optimal entry point, then I'll probably just still buy. And I'm not gonna buy Bitcoin. I'm gonna buy ETH, and I'm gonna buy probably Dogecoin. I like Dogecoin now, just because I think we're basically so close to all-time high that you're gonna get a bunch of morons joining crypto, and I think that just makes Dogecoin very attractive. I like Uni too. That had a really good day today, before this nuke. Now obviously less so, but that's kind of like, there's a few, and then there's obviously gonna be a little bit more, but I'm gonna be buying the altcoins. And if it keeps going up from here, then I'm just gonna have to wait until it does the proper nuke, which could be from, like, if it goes, like, holds this, goes sideways, I'll be short-term trading if the market looks good in a week or two. And then I would like look for something like this, where it kind of like fizzles out again. I think that, like, if it goes up from here, that would make a lot of sense, where you just kind of like, you run up towards like 100K, you distribute, or like just completely crater towards 60, have like a secondary bubble, whatever, where altcoins go wild from like 60 towards like 70, 80K, and then you fizzle out for a while. Like, that's if it goes up. If it goes down, like I said, 45K, and I think we can have a little bit longer of a run, because when you have these kind of straight runs, it's great. But also there's no real structure being built. So there's no supports. And there's something that I commented on back in 2020 was like, this is fucking great. We're all making money. But remember, like, if this goes down, there's no structure between 20 and wherever we were back then. And then we did a little bit of a range here, but that turned to shit. And then there was no support until we broke 20, basically. And right now we're doing the same thing again. Straight line up, which is great when you're in it, while it goes up, but also not so great if you're in it while it goes back down. Why Dog, not Shiba? Shiba has been outperforming and the STIP has been shallower than Doge, because Shiba is fucking dumb. I mean, it's probably a better bet, but I'm not gonna, like, I don't like buying dumb shit. Doge is dumb enough. But SHIB and, like, Whiff and Bonk, like, yeah, fair enough, but I just don't. I'd rather not. They're all copycats. Like Pepe, I'm down. Pepe, I would be down. Doge, I'm down. But the rest of the meme coins, I'm just kind of like, whatever. You guys have some fun, but like Pepe has been the one that I've been like, if you want to have some meme coin exposure, I was like, buy Pepe. Went from whatever the fuck this is, 1 to 8. So that was like times 8 times 9. Kind of performed as well as the other meme coins. If anything, I'd be buying Pepe. Doge doesn't have a hat, yeah, but Doge has a little bit of a soul. I'm surprised you're not buying altcoins now, Don. The reason, like, I mean, there's multiple reasons, but I'm on vacation still. Like, no matter where it goes, like, if this flash crashed to 45, I'd be fucking sad, but I would not take a position. And then I'd just be like, whatever, it is what it is. Because 45 would be my dream entry, but if it happens before I'm ready to take it, it's just how it is. SHIB is 10 in market cap, Doge is 9. Yeah, but I generally, like, I mean, you can buy whatever the fuck you want. It's all meme coins at the end of the day. If one meme coin does well, the other ones will too. Like, a friend of mine bought SHIB and asked me, like, hey, what should I do? Should I sell it? Should I, like, when it went up a little? And I was like, I mean, I'm expecting Doge to go much higher, so SHIB is probably gonna go much higher too. And there's that. So I'm not hating on your investments or whatever. I'm just personally, like, I find them fucking stupid. So, but yeah, that's that. Like I said, so far so good. It's not that terrible. It is a momentum shift, and I would actually be surprised if this, like, kind of went back to pumping in the next day or two. If anything, it's gonna go sideways for a little bit, I think, but could be wrong on that. We'll have to wait and see. Like I said, we're kind of like in between, like, weekly's at support, monthly's at resistance, and then we're gonna have to see how that goes. But I think the monthly might actually win, and you get a little bit of a pullback, which would be the first in a long time, right? It's basically been green all the way up. How do you prefer yourself in case the exchanges you are on are down during big moves? I mean, if you're levered to the tits, then you're just fucked. But you have to have multiple. You have to have, like, if you trade leverage, you have to have multiple exchanges with money on them. Something that I went through back in 2017, 18, 19, where, like, BitMEX would go down for longer periods of time, and then I was just kind of like, well, I'm in a leverage position. What the fuck do I do? And then I learned that I would have to have enough money on another exchange to be able to hedge my entire exposure. And that's something that everyone should be doing that's trading leverage, right? Like, if you're just trading on one exchange and you don't have any money anywhere else, like, if that, and this happens all the time, right? And I think it's not necessarily the fault. I mean, obviously the exchange is a little bit at fault, but this crypto, you have to have insurance, and you're kind of responsible for your own shit. So if the exchange goes down, you have to be ready to be, like, jumping on another one and hedging your exposure or doing whatever the fuck you want to do on that one. Because it's quite easy, right? Like, let's say you're long 5 Bitcoin on one exchange, that exchange goes down and your trade thesis changes. You're like, fuck, I don't want to be in that trade anymore. You just go on another exchange and short 5 Bitcoin there, and then you're technically safe, right? So, yeah. how would you be playing this if you were in spot from 16k still? I would have probably sold it at around like 62 or something, which we are right now. So like the moment it hit this monthly resistance, like I would have probably sold it anyway. Just because it's monthly resistance. Like my thesis is usually coming from the monthly. I buy monthly and I sell monthly. But if I think the target that I had, like I bought 16k and I was like, I'm targeting in 100. I still think that's valid, right? I still think like if you get a pullback, it's gonna be like, I mean, that's gonna be what you want to be buying. It kind of like, it looks very much like it wants to give like a deeper pullback to me. Like this is just a setup where it could pull back quite significantly and stay sideways for a little bit. And that's a good thing, right? Like, I mean, you cannot just do this. I mean, obviously you can. We've done it in 2020, but it's a little bit more of a constructive chart. And it would be good if the whole like the CME apes and the ETF apes take a little bit of pain, so that they're used to how it feels like when it pulls back, because then they don't dump on us at the top. You know, like they need to feel some pain and then they need to puke the bottom and then it goes up and then they buy, and that's why we sell to them at higher prices. So like that's the dream, you know, like it pulls back, you buy, all the apes that are not crypto natives are starting to freak the fuck out and they sell into you, so you get like nice prices. It shoots back up and then all the way from here to whatever, 100k, 150k, they're buying your coins back. And then you can just fucking sell. That's the dream. Don, wouldn't a triple top be possible since nobody expects it? I mean, it's always possible. Like, it's not like I'm saying it's impossible. It's just very, very unlikely. Like, look, like back here, right? When we're trading, when we're starting to break out here, you have a double top, you approach it, and then you just blast through and you kind of go back through history. Again, you can go through the chart. I'm not going to go and do it, but it's just rarely happens. And this is not only for crypto, but also like generally, like triple tops, that stuff that breaks eventually. Like even if you look at fucking the most useless asset of all time, gold, like when you have a high that gets tested too many times. Same here, look, 1, 2, 3, it pulled back a little and then just blasted through. Same here, where you have like a high, 1, 2, 3, pulled back a little but fucking went. It's very, very, very rare that you get like a triple top and then that's the top and that's it. Like you can go through a bunch of history on a lot of charts and you're gonna have trouble finding it. So yeah, I think that's it. Like I said, I need to get to bed. I'm looking at buying like dumb shit like Doge and maybe Pepe even. I think if we get a massive pullback, you want to be looking for stuff like this. And I know this is very unrealistic, whatever, probably is not going to happen. But like basically like these kind of obvious levels on the weekly time frame, like if the market craters and you get a dip buy where it just wicks to a level like this, and I know this is like 50% away from current price, and I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but if it does happen, you have to be ready to buy it, in my opinion anyway. Like it's very, very likely we're gonna make new highs on Bitcoin. The question is, how deep does it go? Does it go to 45? Does it go to 50? Does it hold here at 60? I cannot answer that question. I would prefer if it goes to 45, because then I could fucking buy some of these altcoins. I could see Dogecoin even being below where it was, or like at 0.1 ish at that point. And I think that would be a fucking great buy. And so I would like that, but obviously if the market is too bullish for it, it doesn't have to give it, right? And I'll just have to basically check back in 2 weeks, see how much the bears gifted me, because I think anything below 60k is a gift. It's just how much of a gift are we gonna get? So yeah. yeah, that's it. I know, short, and it's a little bit of an odd one, but it's just how the market is right now. It's been vertical up only. And people are freaking out about a tiny dip at the end of the day. Maybe it just keeps on walking up. Would be fucking hilarious. Wouldn't be the first time, right? Like the Dalai Lama meme wouldn't be the first time. And that would be giga bullish. And then I think we would see each other in like a month or two at 100K. But yeah, anyway, we'll see how it goes. It's going to be exciting. Much love. Thanks for coming by. Hope that helps. Probably not. It's just my opinion. But yeah, thanks for Woo for sponsoring the show, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.